Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the DC Collectibles Earth 2 Batman action figure. This new released figure, I think, was one of two other figures that came out. It was this one and the Wonder Woman were both just recently released. I was a little more iffy, to be honest, on the Batman than I was on the Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman really looks like a phenomenal figure. Batman, I'm a little on the fence with. But this comes to us from the Earth 2 storyline. DC Comics, the new 52 Batman action figure. Once again, still presented in an open window box. A familiar sight actually with DC collectible figures as a whole. On the side of the package, based on the art of Nicholas Scott, sculpted by Phil Ramirez. The picture of Batman on the side there. And finally on the back, after the fall of the original Dark Knight, a new Batman rises to defend the world against injustice. Based on designs seen in the monthly Earth 2 comic book, is the latest action figure from DC Collectibles, Batman. Be on the lookout on other figures as well. There's the Earth 2 Green Lantern, Earth 2 Flash, and Earth 2 Wonder Woman. For more product info and more, go to dccomics.com. You can also head over to comicshoplocator.com and find a local comic store that's close enough for you to pick up figures like this. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Earth 2 Batman. Don't go anywhere, guys. There's more heading your way. Stay tuned. Batman's one accessory, the one accessory that Batman comes with, sadly broke when I got him out of packaging. He did come included with this really nice, vibrant red Batarang here. The downside, though, is the packaging. As you know, with clamshell packaging, they're really in there, and there's no elastic or anything keeping the Batarang in there. So Spot just pulled it out of the clamshell insert where the Batman figure sat in, and it bent it and it broke the piece right off. And I thought initially, oh, it's just pegged in there, but no, it unfortunately took that wing completely off. I could glue it, which is not certainly that much of an issue, but it's a very, very fine plastic, so I would say be very careful taking this out of packaging that you don't have similar situations happen to you as they did with me. The one thing also too, because this is hinged, this Batarang can open and close. So you could kind of have Batman holding it as if it's about to be opened, or you can have his arm kind of, tilted back as the Batarang is extended out. I like this, I really like this touch, but I wish though that the plastic wasn't as soft as it was. I mean, it's not really even so much that it's soft, it is a hard plastic, which means it's very brittle. Like, I could probably go like that and break that wing further. A little bit of glue definitely will fix it, but kind of wish that it wasn't the case to get it out and have already bad news to speak of. Moving that to the side, let's have a look at Earth 2 Batman. As a whole, he's a decent figure. There's one thing that Spot's not too super keen on this figure, but everything else I really like. I think the real draw for this figure is more so the color. This dark gray that they've given this Batman figure, along with this vibrant red and black, all the colors work so extremely well together. In fact, you know what? Let's just touch base on the one thing that's kind of bothering me right now. The main bothering point to me is the head. Couple of things. Okay, let's go through a couple of things here. For example, his cape. His cape is a nice shiny black paint. Though the downside though is his head. I'm not sure why, but first of all, I got all this debris on top of his head here, but his head, being that it's a more of a matte black, stands out from everything else that's on this figure. Sure, of course, you could use the argument that his gloves, as well as his boots, are a matte black as well, but it's a little too jarring because the rest of this section here is all gloss. The eyes work pretty good. There's a little bit of paint that's been missing on the side of the face there as well. The eyes work. Like, that part works pretty good on Batman. Not really liking the mouth, though. The mouth is what's killing it for me for this Batman. I don't know what's going on or why they decided to sculpt it with this open mouth. It kind of makes Batman a little silly. I was trying to find a good term to use. Makes him look a little silly. Like he's not quite sure what's going on. If you were to Frankenstein this head and then just look at strictly the body, the rest of the figure is gorgeous. I love the bat logo that they used here, which is kind of very similar to kind of like the old Batman logos back from like the 50s, the 60s, this kind of design. It also has a very Dark Knight Rises, or The Dark Knight, I guess, the Frank Miller graphic novel. It kind of has that same similar bat logo, which is also, I think, the same kind of logo as what we're getting with the Ben Affleck Batman suit as well, although his, will be a lot larger. I love the gray. I love the gray. I love this red. And the black works so well. But then the head kills it for the rest of this figure. Like, even from other angles, I would think, no, it's just not working. It's just not working for me on this figure. Also, too, something else that's interesting is the cape. They put a lot of effort into sculpting this cape. They've given him this kind of textured design. Like, from the back side, you don't see it so much, but the red on the interior really looks vibrant. And I like the way that they've sculpted in this additional texture piece here. But it's the head. It's really the head that's killing it for me. Even if his mouth was closed, maybe it wouldn't be so much of an issue for me, but I don't know. With the head there, it's just it's ruining the figure really for me. But like the red, I hate to sound like a broken record, but really the red is selling this figure so much. Now, in the way of his articulation, this Batman does still have quite a bit of articulation. His head is on a ball joint, moves up and down and left and right quite a bit. Shoulders also on a hinge socket ball joint. He has a rotation in the bicep, a nice single bend. Sorry, in the elbow there. He has no waist swivel, likely due to the way that the utility belt was sculpted. It's a very broad utility belt that he has, and then his legs quite articulated as well. Looks like there is a singular ball socket. It looks like it's a clear plastic too, so I'm hoping over the course of time that's not going to become too problematic and that's going to break. Really iffy when it comes to clear pegs. Also, too, his legs are on a single hinge, and not to mention there is a swivel in the boot, a nice hinge in the foot. Batman doesn't come with any sort of display stand, which kind of would have been a nice added bonus. The one accessory, again, he has is this broken Batarang. Coloring, I love it. Body, decent. I like it as well. But again, for me, it's what's really ruining the figure is so much more so the head. Had they only decided to go a different route with the head, even really from like the eyes down, would have worked for me. And also, I feel like there's a bit of a quality issue with the head as well. There's just all this extra stuff. Paint there, paint on the top there as well. That's really taken away from this figure too. Had this figure only had a shiny black head, kind of like what we had here, I think could have probably fixed the issue, though the issue still with the mouth would have not been solved. For that reason, Earth 2 Batman, I'm going to give you a 6.5. Possibly, you know what? No, Spot will give you a 7. I like the coloring and the rest of the body. I'm going to give you a 7, though really the head hinders it a lot for this figure. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the DC Collectibles, the New 52 Earth 2 Batman. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have the review of Wonder Woman also heading your way, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.